Hello, everyone, and welcome to this 6-6 Dragon Invocation. This is going to be a very intense, in-depth, but still fast Dragon Invocation for the 6-6 portal that is happening today on 6/6/2020, the day after the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, followed by another solar eclipse next week, and then the lunar eclipse, and we're just going into all sorts of astrological stuff, aren't we? Plus, we got almost 7 planets in retrograde. Pretty intense stuff going on. So I wanted to jump on and do a dragon invocation for you for 6/6, especially really because of what's happening in the world at large, as well with the entire structure of the abuse of power really being brought to light. More and more people every day since last year have just been waking up and waking up. And the lunar eclipse that had happened in January of this year was the end of the Armageddon timeline, was the end of any way that our planet was going to obliterate itself. And we have been experiencing some of the repercussions of plans that had been put in place to destroy the world, but obviously didn't. We've been experiencing the lesser degree of that. So yes, what we've all been coming out of with lockdown, and now going on with the racism fights that have been going on all around the world, and against police brutality, especially here in America. Here in Utah, there was a man that was shot 30 times. Like it's crazy. He was on his knees, his hands up, like just it's just ridiculous. And yet, as someone who's been playing in this energy and really seeing things from a higher perspective, I can see that this level of disruption is what is necessary for the masses to wake up. So there's been so many of us who have been doing this work for years and years and years and years that we can't even remember our awakening. Some of us, like I remember mine because it was pretty intense. I gave birth naturally, unassisted, at home, unplanned. My midwife showed up 15 minutes later, but that's not how everyone is. My husband went through his when I pretty much told him that I was going to leave him unless he got his shit together. And every single person goes through their own awakening. But for many of us who've been doing this work, working with the light grid, working with dragons, working with auras, with Reiki, with all these higher energies, we kind of forget what that was like. And what is happening right now, especially with the lunar eclipse that just happened, and then all the other eclipses that are about to happen. Like, we're having a solar eclipse on the same day as the summer solstice. Like, it is ridiculous the amount of signs that we're getting from our galactic community that we are really ready to step up and into our 5th dimensional, our higher dimension, our 12th dimension, our Christed consciousness level of life. So the first thing I want to talk about before we really get into the dragon specifically that we're going to be working with is this idea that we are in Gemini season. It is 6. Today is 6/6. And that brings me to the lovers. Okay, so this is the lovers. Here we go. The lovers here in the Thoth, oh my gosh, tarot deck. So sorry, my light is super bright, so I can't really can't zoom in so much, but you can see, hopefully, maybe if I turn it this way. Okay. You can see that there is a Moroccan king marrying a white queen. They got a black son and a white daughter. They're holding all these different symbolisms. The hermit here is creating this alchemical marriage over them. Cupid is up here, Eros shooting the arrows from Eros down to love. And then you have the obelisk's egg here, which is very much a dragon egg energy, right? It looks a lot like the caduceus. In fact, if we flip this whole image upside down instead, we actually see that caduceus, the snake wrapping up, and the wings at the top, which is the medical sign. So when we talk about the lovers, we are really talking about our conversation within our own self, our own alchemical marriage, our ability to unite the duality within us. So the parts of us, so as a woman, I can speak to the patriarchy, right? I'm speaking specifically to a lot of women right now. All of my clients, it seems like, even a lot of the new people that are coming to me, are realizing that they have either experienced abusive relationships in the past, or in the middle of an abusive relationship, or they are realizing that abusive power is so systemic that even their children, who they thought they were raising as very spiritual people, are also still showing signs of this patriarchal, like women are less than men and Black people are less than white people, this racism, this abuse of power, this lack mindset, this Newtonian, really this Newtonian idea of scarcity instead of the Einstein theory of the abundance of the universe. So the lovers is about having that conversation with the inner other. So for women, that would be really, for us, having that conversation with the inner patriarchy, figuring out what parts of ourselves we still really can't stand to be around. And for men to really realize that there is an unconscious part of you that believes that you are entitled to more privilege than women. And then going even further and bigger, you go into the fact that, again, the races, we are not different races. There is one race. There's just 5 different races based on the pigmentation of our skin. And that is the most ridiculous thing. We're not separated from each other. There's the human race. You want, like, there are lions, and there's all these different species of lions, right? But there's still just lions. I think that we forget that, right? Like, we're not even a different species. We're still all Homo sapiens. Like, we are all one thing, which is human. And yet we all don't experience being human the same, right? I absolutely see color. I am very, very aware of the fact that my children's godfather, who is African American, Native American man, experiences life totally different than my husband, who is of European descent and super white, right? So the lover energy, I just wanted to talk about that for a second, just because today is 6/6, and really to bring apart around the part that maybe it's time to be doing some mirror work. Maybe right now is a really good time to start looking behind your belief systems and truly integrating fully your divine masculine and divine feminine. I really can have everything and more. Think about a wedding day. Wedding days are always filled with this joy of what if, what could be, how is our life going to be? This is the beginning of happily ever after. So how can your life become happily ever after, whether or not you're with someone, whether or not you're in the middle of a divorce, whether or not you're trying to figure out how to leave, whether or not you actually love your marriage but your business sucks, or maybe your business is doing great but your relationship with your own parents isn't doing well. We create these. If you've ever read The Big Leap, Gay Hendricks calls it the upper limit problem. And I just call it the, like, humanity's, it's a worthiness issue for me, because worthiness is not an external thing. Worthiness is only something that can be found inside of you. You don't, like, your dad doesn't tell you, oh, you're worthy of this, and then you decide that you are. You get to a point, and then you're worthy of having whatever it is you want, despite what other people think. So worthiness is an internal game. And knowing your worth truly does, and I've talked about this in previous episodes of either Dragon Invocations or on Sunday Morning Coffee with Karen. You can see the links below that bring you to that other channel that have all the Sunday Morning Coffee with Karen on it. This is the channel for Dragon Invocations. I know I probably should have merged them, but whatever. I've talked about knowing your worth, and knowing your worth is really about 3 different statements. I know who I am. I am a fractal of God. I know what I am. I am God in form. I know how I serve. I sing a new song. So when I do these dragon invocations and I'm singing in this soul frequency to you, it's because I am very aware that the way that I create love and unity and magic on this planet is channeled through my throat chakra. And my main connection to source is through my solar plexus and through my higher heart, which then lead to my vocal cords. And those are all the parts that you need to use to sing as well. So um I know that about myself, and I know that I have other clients who their genius is within writing, and whose genius is within creating products, or whose genius is within doing different types of energy work. So when I'm helping to birth the dragon as the dragon doula, when I'm helping my clients to really open up into the expansion of their ability to commune with who they truly are, to be a whole person instead of just a good person. I end up working with a lot of people who have good girl syndrome or good boy syndrome. They've been just taught that you need to follow the rules, even though they had a little rebellious side in them, or they're super rebellious and they need some structure put back into their life. Pretty much anything that you have an overabundance of, when you work with me, it's because you're looking for the other side of it, helping bring that balance in. I have a Libra moon. I'm very able to help people balance, even though I've got a whole lot of mostly fire in my chart as a Leo. With Aquarius rising, like I'm just all about this ascension situation right now, because I know that I'm balancing water and fire, creating that steam and moving forward. So just think about that as you've been dealing with the energies of the eclipse. 4 days before an eclipse and 4 days after an eclipse are usually very intense times, and now we literally have 4 weeks in a row of eclipses. Like, it's pretty intense of what's happening. Again, if you're astrologically inclined at all, you know exactly what's going on with that. So the dragon invocation I wanted to do today was really working with this specific dragon, the air and fire dragon. I can't get it as close as I normally would like to. This deck is the Diane Cooper deck, the Dragon Oracle deck. This is the air and fire dragon. So this dragon helps you expand your creative energies and harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. So I really loved the idea of working with this card, this dragon, along with the lovers, because I think that communication is pretty much the biggest breakdown in any relationship, right? I have a problem with the way that you're acting, but I don't know how to communicate that with you because of fear, because of judgment, because of whatever. Or I have a problem with what I want to do in my life, and I don't know how to tell you that maybe I don't want to do this anymore. These conversations, it's always a conversation. Even the conversations we're having about Black Lives Matter, it's a communication thing. And what I teach my clients is how to use all of the negative, lower vibrational energies in their fields, the things that cause them to be catastrophizing all the times, this downward spirals into what if this happens and I'm going to end up dead on the side of the road because the dishes aren't loaded. Somehow, we've all done it. We've all done downward spirals where the tiniest little things set us off, and by the end of it, we're just like don't even exist anymore, because everything's just been taken away from us somehow. And I help to reverse that flow of energy. So instead of thinking about all the things that could be bad in your life, my clients are constantly thinking about what is positive and uplifting. How can I have more love? How can I have more prosperity? How can I have more success? How can I serve more people? How can I inspire more people to know that they don't have to live in low vibration? And that's the creation part. Okay, this is how I know to be. I already understand how to be in low vibe. I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to be unhappy. I know what it's like to be in a sexless marriage. How do I turn all that around? Because I know that I am God in form, right? I know who I am. I am a fractal of God. I know what I am. I am God in form. So how do I serve? Well, if I'm serving by being in the world and bitching and moaning all the time, okay, fine, you're still singing a song. It might not be very new, but it's still a song. How can you sing that new song? How can you serve in a creative capacity in a way that has never been created before? Because you yourself are your own unique frequency. So yes, bitching and moaning isn't the newest thing, but the way that you do it is going to be new because your frequency is new. So for those of you who have taken my course, Superconscious Living, you know that I'm all about teaching you how to be in alignment with your own unique frequency. Just as unique as your fingerprint is, so is your voice. That's why they do voice, like why people use those things and have to cover their voice up when they're in the middle of doing investigations, or when they've kidnapped somebody, because voices are, you can map a voice and know exactly who the person is that's talking. And even as, like, we know, even identical twins are not in every single way identical. So there is a uniqueness about us that we hide. We try to then become um, a part of the norm, right? We want to be normal. So we don't accept that maybe you are a white chick who loves African music, and yet because you were raised in New England, you would never let anyone know that because you're afraid of being judged. So working with the air and fire dragon really brings out that fearless, authentic, creative side, because once the spark is lit, right? This is what I think about with the air and fire dragon, honestly, is I think about lighting a campfire, how you take the time to really like build the fire. You put the kindling down, and you put these other things down. You put the little bit of sticks on the top and then a couple of bigger logs, and you spark it with the flint, and then it sparks. But what do you immediately do afterwards? Right? You add some air to really set it ablaze. So that is like, who thought of that? Who realized that it was that you needed to blow air on it? Was it windy one day? Did he go, I lit it? Like, what was it that caused the first person who lit a fire to be like, oh, the way you make the fire bigger is by blowing on it, right? That in and of itself took some level of creative genius, some sort of spark of divine inspiration, even. So how can you harness? Again, you're harnessing the breath to blow on the fire, to really have that creativity, that excitement, that enthusiasm that then allows you to create something really beautiful that could set the world on fire in the best way. Right now is all about burning down the old paradigm. Right now is all about releasing the old into the world, into the universe, to be transmuted into something new, and to really solidify within ourselves our high level of consciousness, our ability to be so in alignment with exactly our divine purpose of moving into Christed consciousness, to being one again in God and in Sophia, that we realize that all of this pain and suffering was just a part of, it was a part of the play, it was a part of the game, it was a part of the experiment called Earth. And I know a lot of you who are watching this, everything I'm saying makes so much sense to you now. So I love that you're here. As always, make sure that you're liking, subscribing, sharing these videos. It's my passion, my drive, my love to share the dragon magic with you, to share the messages of the dragons with you. So real quick, not real quick, but while we're here, if you are looking for a little bit extra oomph in the dragon world, just make sure that you reach out to me. You can send me a message. I am taking one-on-one clients right now, as well as the Superconscious Leaders is a membership group that you can join that helps you to really connect to your unique frequency, and where you can get the Superconscious Leader or Superconscious Living course is within that membership group. The links are below in the description to be able to contact me that way as well. Just letting you know, if you have ever been interested on how, well, who are you and how can I work with you? So lots of fire. There's a lot of fire, but even that, do you notice, like when we feel really hot, what do? We take a nice deep breath. We just breathe it out, because breathing reminds us that we're connected to life, that prana, that life force. And when we can cool the air, or we can cool the flame with a little bit of air, we still know that it's not like adding water, right? The coolness of the breath of going isn't the same. That's what, like, it's not the same as like putting water on fire, which just like disintegrates it, right? That's what we do when we blow out birthday candles, but birthday candles are like this big. And again, that's what we blow when we're trying to build the fire. So I think that right now the dragons really want us to be building the momentum, building the fire. We have had a last week of really, really intense fire going on with the Black Lives Matter, and really having to look again at this beautiful vision of like, there's a reason why there's dark skin and light skin people on this card, and they're looking at each other and they're really seeing the mirror image of each other, that there is no separation once we can transcend the idea that we are somehow separate. If we can really know that I am everything. I am the good and the bad. I am the light and the dark. I am male and female. I am she and he. I am high and low, as within, so without. That true alchemical marriage. And then we're able to create literal miracles in our lives. And the air and fire dragons are just coming in and saying, the more that we individually are doing this work within ourselves to continue fueling that fire in our belly, then we are affecting the global consciousness as well, in burning down the old paradigm and bringing our own passions into the world, bringing our own creativity and enthusiasm and excitement through showing the world what we are passionate about and singing our song at such a high frequency that other people are waking up. Every day my inbox is filled with more people who are wondering who I am, what I'm doing, how can they work with me, what is this dragon energy, because somehow, somewhere, a dragon has affected them, and then the next thing they know, they're watching this video and they're like, I don't know who you are, but I need to know everything about you and how I can be in alignment with my own unique frequency. So that's what this dragon invocation is going to be all about. It's really, really going to be about communicating your passion in this world and helping to burn down the old paradigm that silences you in any way. Because no one, no matter their age, their size, the color of their eyes or hair or skin, who they love, how they speak, their abilities at all, if they're male, if they're female, if they're gay, if they're straight, if they're a Black trans woman fighting for her life for a week in the 1960s, Stonewall Inn, the riots, that's the anniversary of that, is this week as well. There's a reason for all of this. There's a reason why you're watching this video. So go ahead and get comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. All the way down. Pull it all the way down. Oh, excuse me. Into your belly. And again, oh, nice deep breath in. Really opening, expanding that belly, and then exhale. And one more time in through the nose. And then exhale. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Your hands are open. No, nothing's crossed. Your arms aren't crossed. Your legs aren't crossed. Spine is nice and straight. Your brilliance lives in your backbone. So when you are able to activate your backbone to really grow a spine, you're able to stand in that brilliance. So you're able to communicate your passion with a truly genuine, gentle, and compassionate, I don't give a flying about what you think of me. This is my song to sing, and it's the song that needs to be heard. And if it's dissonant to you, then you need to raise your vibrations. So go ahead and just connect to that brilliance in your backbone, that way for you to communicate your passion. What is it? Where is that spark? Where are you lit up? Along your channel there. And that tube of energy that goes all the way from Gaia through you, through your spine, and then up through the top of your head, up into Source, to Sophia, to Christ. And then just go ahead and receive the air and fire dragons now, allowing all of that creativity and enthusiasm and incitement to be boiling up, to just see that spark of passion be lit, and then to blow and blow until you have a full raging fire of creative energy that you're able to then focus into whatever beautiful, beautiful artwork of your life that you want to create. And then just go ahead and receive this blessing. This is in dragon tongue, so it's just a song I sing from my vocal cords to you. My soul sound comes through my vocal cords and resonates through your entire energy field, clearing, healing, and activating you to be able to easily step into your highest potential and to truly become the dragon that you yourself we're born to be here in this time and space on earth. We come here now today. Oi Vedo Batena to call upon the dragon Eveno Potegane to find a creative spark. Oi Dongole Bantea, we know you are here. Vina Morning Galia. I know I have a song to sing. Winga bongo bole beare ubu hinga. I want to sing this song for the world to hear. Visha mongo velo tingbade. There is a reason I am here on this planet. There is a reason I have chosen my path. Way of Otokafapote. I am here to sing a song of love and hope. Wengolo body ave no chikate. I want you to see your life could be a world of happily ever after if you only believed you could be worthy. You could see it too. Yes, you may wobble on your path. Yes, you may be scattered and run in circles. Eventually, you'll break down all you thought you knew and find yourself sitting in the goo of transformation. But then you'll see the next right thing to do. Just take a step and step again. Because it's true, you know exactly how you need to fly. Your creativity, your energy, your enthusiasm, your incitement for this life that you live, the highs and the lows, it is yours. The uniqueness of who you are is running through your veins. I am here, you are here, we are here. Ambambe ambarangala. Hey, oh, this is so much bigger than either of us. This is so much bigger than you or me. Bangali Barianone. There is no separation between us. Bangali Amba, I am you and you are me. We are one in the eyes of Sophia. Om bongo lebe de venga cinco shongo be. We are standing in our fearless, authentic power as superconscious beings living here on Gaia. We invoke the Tafiti in Onome Botega. I am love. You are love. We are love. I am here to be the whole, complete version of my frequency in love. We are here, we are here, we are here for love. We are here for peace. We are here for unity. Wega vongo potene ono, evega bataga no kono, evena mane aboto begale, amatobe, webe towa, webe go. We are here to love. We are here to soothe. We are here to know our worth and to create the life of unimaginable bliss. Go ahead and take a nice couple of deep breaths. If you're feeling any heaviness in your feet, in your legs, under your knees, go ahead and just push all of that down into Pachamama, down into Gaia for her to transmute. There you go. Push all of that density, all those lower frequencies. So everything that was being cleared and healed is now being brought down by gravity to your feet, and just push it down, 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 out through your feet chakra. Down, 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 out through Kidney 1, down, down, down into Pachamama. And now you're left with this high floaty feeling. Go ahead and open your eyes. This is homeostasis in the higher frequencies. Once our whole planet has shifted, this is going to be our new normal. So it's time for us to start learning what it feels like to live in this high frequency, to have all of our energy field be fully connected to our brilliance, to our connection to source, to our connection to each other. So thank you so much for being here. Love you all so much. Make sure that if you want to stay connected, that you look at the links below, drink lots of water, get out in nature. There really is no need to ground the way that we used to. This is really about staying high vibe and not falling back into that lower density. So I love you all so very much. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Happy 6/6, and I will talk to you again soon.